The UEFA Champions League group stage will climax this weekend, and it's going to be very interesting because all the matches will be played simultaneously at 9 p.m. Nigerian time on Wednesday, because it's match day 8 of the UEFA Champions League for this season. Remember, it's a new Champions League format, and so all the games will be played at the same time, and we have a lot of elements at stake. Those clubs fighting to qualify automatically for the round of 16 of the Champions League, and those that are striving, that are struggling to qualify for the playoffs as well. And remember, the first place team to the 8th place team will qualify automatically in the round of 16, while the 9th place team to the 24th place team will play in the playoffs. And of course, if you are below, you'll be eliminated from the UEFA Champions League. Welcome to another edition of Sports Hangout. We'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League on these segments on this day on our show. The UEFA Champions League games coming up on Wednesday. Just like I said the other time, all the matches we played simultaneously at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. We have some interesting matchups on Wednesday. It promises to be interesting. A lot of goals, a lot of drama, a lot of heartache as well. Remember that last season we had Manchester City facing Real Madrid in the playoffs of the Champions League, and you know the playoff is anybody's game. You can be drawn against Atletico Madrid, you can be drawn against the big boys, so you want to avoid them. And the only way you can do that is by qualifying automatically into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. JJ, interesting matches on Wednesday in the Champions League. And I mean, let me ask you this: do you love this new format of the UEFA Champions League compared to the one we used to have some years ago?
No.
You don't love it? Absolutely. But we have big games now. I mean, even in the group stage, you could have PSG facing Arsenal, Bayern for this season now. You know, Arsenal face Bayern, they face Atletico Madrid. These are big games now. But before, it was always all these minnows playing against the big boys in the group stage.
No, I think I have no. Before it wasn't like it's always the big boys playing against. Look at 1999, for instance. Man United were in the same group as Bayern, as Barcelona. Those 3 teams, I think they are so. It depends on.
But I love this format.
If you finish in 4th position, for example, or Arsenal, or any of the big teams in England, they're definitely going to be paired against one of those big teams too, if the coefficient doesn't take them so far. So this format is league format, yes.
League format. Interesting, to be honest.
It's interesting, but so I don't know. Sometimes when you change to some new are not as.
This is second season now. Last season they tried it. It worked.
Maybe we are not used to it yet. Over the years, we're going to. It has come to stay. There's no changing. But the group format where you have, you know that the first 2 are qualifying automatically.
Yes.
And there's no third group may play off. No,
yeah, I think that what makes it interesting.
The big boys get to the knockout and start knocking themselves out. And sometimes even this, the minnows, they get to the knockout stages and pull off some miracle. Let me use that word. And but this one, I don't know when. I think it's still going to. It's still early days, so a lot of things to say.
All right, let's go into the fixtures. We have some interesting fixtures on Wednesday. Let's start with the one between Napoli and Chelsea. It's going to be an away game for Chelsea, the world champions they are called. They are playing away to Napoli. Both teams have something at stake. Chelsea wants to qualify automatically into round of 16, same as Napoli. But of course, Chelsea, they are playing away to Napoli. This will be the biggest test for their manager, new manager, Liam Rossinier, who became the manager some weeks ago. Chelsea away to Napoli. If Chelsea manage to beat Napoli, definitely they will finish in the top 8. But if Napoli beat Chelsea, Chelsea might drop to the playoff spot. So do you think that Chelsea can do it again away to Napoli? Napoli it's been very tough for them. I mean, if you look at the history between Napoli and Chelsea, whenever Chelsea go away to Italy against Napoli, it's always very tough. But this time around, they need to get a positive result if they want to qualify for the round of 16 automatically.
Well, I think that's Chelsea. For Napoli, they are not even in qualification places. They are 25th on the log.
Yeah.
Which means if they lose against Chelsea, they are out of the competition.
But they can still qualify into the playoff.
They can still qualify into the playoff
if they beat Chelsea.
Which will be their own motivation.
Yeah.
So it's 2 motivations. Chelsea want to qualify automatically. They don't want the stress of playoff. And Napoli want to qualify into the playoffs. And let me just make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting again too.
But if it ends in a draw, I think Chelsea can
still
depend on that result, because if you look at the table, it's close.
Napoli they are 25th on the table and they have 8 points. Olympiacos are 24th on the table.
Yeah.
They have 8.5. Interestingly, both of them have the same goal difference, -5, -5. So it's a must win for Napoli. It's not a
more than Chelsea. Chelsea can still they get a point.
Scale through. They can just.
But they want to avoid playing the playoffs because if you look at the teams in the playoffs now, you have Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Just imagine Chelsea's player against Atletico Madrid.
You have Juventus. You have
Juventus. I mean, these are going to be tough matches.
Yes, and that's why I said it's a case of two motivations.
Yes.
A battle of motivations. One wants to qualify for wants to secure the automatic sports qualification.
Yes.
Because if Chelsea do win tomorrow, automatically they've qualified.
Yeah.
In fact, they can move from 8th to 3rd.
Yeah. If
Madrid lose and the results other hand just favor Chelsea. So it's a huge game. In fact, this final round is like it's like the Premier League games.
Yes.
That's
last game.
A lot of especially those delegations.
Definitely the table
will
be changing.
You are 18, another goal, you are back in 20, and so it's the same thing as this league. In fact, there are about 16 teams competing for the automatic sport. 16 teams competing for
apart from Arsenal and Bayern Munich,
those two are qualified automatically.
Yes.
There are 15 or 16 teams slugging it out for for the remaining 6 spots. The remaining 6 automatic spots. So and it's like that in the same in the
and it's the same time. It's the same time. So it's
almost the same thing. There are about 16 teams also competing for the playoffs. So it's really going to be an interesting game tomorrow.
Let me get your verdict on this game, Napoli Chelsea. Do you think Chelsea can get an away win or it will end in draw? Napoli will
I think Chelsea are a more solid team under the new manager, but they've lost against Arsenal, and that was a super Arsenal team. Napoli themselves, I think
they were struggling
as well.
They lost over the weekend to Juventus in the Italian
But you know, you can't compare domestic league with Champions League, which means it's going to be a huge game. But it's going away to Napoli. Napoli is a den of all those mafias and Italian mafias. And it's going to be a really tough game for Chelsea tomorrow. But if Chelsea continue the way
and Lukaku is back from injury.
He's back from injury.
That's a big boost for Napoli.
Play against
his former team.
If Chelsea play like they've been playing the past 2-3 games, I think they might come up with a draw or a win, scrap a win. I see Napoli, honestly. I see Napoli edging the game.
Alright, we need to run right now. PSG up against Newcastle United. That's another big game. PSG, they are playing at home. Newcastle United won their last game. I remember it's been topsy-turvy for Newcastle United. They've not been consistent. But you know that this is the commission of the champions. You need to get used to it if you want to be counted among the champions. PSG playing at home against Newcastle United. PSG, I think they are outside the top.
PSG, they are
in the top 8. Newcastle United, they are also not doing badly.
In fact, PSG are 6, Newcastle are 7.
So if it ends in the draw, depending on that,
the same points. They have just 13 points.
But PSG, Newcastle United, how do you think that will pan out? Tough game for Newcastle United.
It's a really tough game. It's a really tough game because Newcastle going away. That's it's death.
Yeah.
It's death for them
against the champions PSG.
Yeah, we can't waste too much time on that. It's PSG. Because Newcastle United, in 4-5 games in the Premier League, they are winless.
Yeah.
And yes, they did win against PSV in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But PSG are no PSV. There's going to be that's one V and G that's the difference. PSG will show them tomorrow on Wednesday.
Yeah. So you think that?
I don't think. I'm certain that PSG will come there.
Let's talk about Manchester City. They are playing at home to Galatasaray. Victor Osimhen will come over to England against Manchester City. And if you look at Manchester City on the table as well, they are outside the top 8, right?
Yeah.
They're outside the top 8.
They
need to win.
They need to win
to finish in the top 8 so that they can avoid the big guns.
Exactly.
They're playing against Galatasaray, and Galatasaray might want to be. They might want to play the role of spoilers for Manchester City, but they are playing at the Etihad Stadium. City lost shockingly last time out to Bodo Glimt. If they had won that game, they would have been in a better place right now. But they lost that game. And then they are under pressure. They must win against Galatasaray because they're playing at home.
Well, unless Galatasaray beats Man City tomorrow, Wednesday by a margin of 6-7 goals and above,
which is almost impossible.
The best they can achieve is
which is almost impossible.
They qualify the playoffs sport Galatasaray. But for Man City, they are in fact they are in the same. They have the same point as PSG number 6.
Wow.
They have 13 points. So it's they've got to win.
You need to win.
They need to win. Otherwise, they will retain their spots in the qualifiers. They can't. I don't see they can't drop beyond the playoffs now. But if they really want to make automatic spots, they've got to win. They've got to win. They're just two goals behind, 2 goals difference behind Chelsea, which means they also have to win by at least like 4 goals tomorrow without conceding. Once they concede, it's almost game over for them.
Liverpool, they are not in any danger of missing out, but of course they are playing at home to Karabakh. They are third right now, Liverpool. They are third. They are playing at home to Karabakh. Karabakh, wow. They are struggling as well. They are struggling, but they are playing away to Liverpool. Liverpool have been poor in the league. The Premier League, they've been struggling. But in the Champions League, last time out, they went to Marseille, defeated Marseille by 3 goals to nothing. This time around, they are playing at home to Karabakh. Of course, Ancelotti has been dealing with a lot of issues. You know, the form of Liverpool. He has a lot of injury crisis as well. I mean, Ugo Ekitike just returned from injury. Alexander Isak is still out injured. They're playing at home to Karabakh. Do you think they'll be able to finish this off? The last game for them, the group stage, before they get to round of 16.
For Karabakh, they are on 10 points. They are 18th on the league and then on 10 points.
Yeah,
which
18,
means
playoff.
A win tomorrow, the best they can secure is the playoff. But they will move higher. But then for Liverpool, they have 15 points. They are about I think 3rd or 4th. They have 15 points, and so a win tomorrow is just going to secure them the spots in the automatic qualification spots. So Karabakh, they are coming to this with higher motivation.
Yes.
Because
they need more than
a loss against Liverpool,
and
they can be out.
Yes.
Because
depending on that result,
those outside the qualification spot are on 8 points. A win will give them 11 points, and which means a loss against Liverpool, Karabakh, they're out. But they've been impressive this Champions League competition this season. Karabakh, they've been impressive really. So in fact, their past 3 or 4 games now, well, it's not been really superb. They've won just once in about 6 games.
Yeah.
But for a team of their status to be 18 and have 10 points, where a lot of teams are struggling with just a point, 2 points in between, which means a shock against Liverpool, and their spot is qualified. So, but I think for Liverpool, it depends. And Slot, if he just wants to rest players and bring on the fringe ones, Karabakh might secure a point, or but if he does use the big guys,
you expect them to win.
Karabakh will be left hanging, hoping for other results to favour them.
Lastly, Dortmund up against Inter Milan. Dortmund, they lost last time out in the Champions League. They played against Inter Milan, who also lost last time out to Arsenal Football Club. Dortmund and Inter Milan. This will make an interesting matchup. I mean, it's going to be interesting how Inter Milan will respond after losing to Arsenal. By the way, Inter Milan, they are top of the Serie A table. They are flying right now, but you know, the Serie A is different from the Champions League. They got to the final last time out. They lost scandalously to Paris Saint-Germain. They have a new manager right now. They are playing away to Dortmund. JJ, how do you think this will pan out? Dortmund playing at home to Inter Milan.
Yeah, Inter, they are 13th with 13 points, while Dortmund are 16th with 11 points.
Wow.
Which means a loss for Newcastle tomorrow, and they can be down here. A win for Borussia Dortmund. And they can replace Tottenham. Where I don't think Dortmund can replace Tottenham now, because Tottenham beat them the last time, so they have that advantage over them. But for Inter Milan, 12 points, a win, and they can be very up there. So it's still a game that's going to be quite tight. It's going to be quite tight. But Inter going away to Dortmund. Dortmund are not doing badly themselves.
Yeah, they are not.
They're not doing badly themselves. So it's well, I thought Dortmund would put in a fight against Spurs last week, but it was so comfortable for Spurs out. So if they do perform like that against Inter Milan, whether they are home or away, they're going to get beat, and they're going to get beat. But Dortmund, they do have this thing in front of their own fans. They are almost unbeatable in front of their fans. So I think that factor can also play an advantage for Borussia Dortmund.
Lastly, JJ, I want to ask you this question. I know it's a bit premature, but I need to ask you, do you think that PSG can defend the title they won last season? PSG, if you look at their form this season compared to last season, it's like they are struggling a bit by their own standard. They are second on the French League table, and even in Champions League, they lost a couple of games as well. Do you think they can defend what they won last season? Last season they were fantastic. Ousmane Dembele was firing in all cylinders. They've got other players as well, Vashkela, but this season they are a bit off. Do you think that they can defend that title? Because in this Champions League, in this new era, I think it's been very difficult, apart from Real Madrid, for any club to say they want to defend the Champions League. Do you think they can defend it? Do you think they will go as far as they did last season?
Like you said, it's going to be a bit difficult for any team, apart from Real Madrid, to say they want to, defend the title and all that. But I think last season, PSG, they started slowly, they struggled in the group stage. In fact, up to like round of 16. In fact, they even played the playoffs. Interesting, they played the playoffs, yeah. So, and from quarterfinals, they started
beat Arsenal in the semi-final, beat Inter Milan in the final.
And so on that basis, I think we can't write them off defending.
They still got quality.
They've got a lot of injuries.
A lot.
They've got a lot of injuries. Has been out of the team. On that, I don't see them retaining if they don't get those players back on time. But if they do have a fit team again, I don't see a team stopping them. Maybe Arsenal. Arsenal may want to revenge if they do meet again.
All right, let's get your comments on the comment section. Champions League games this weekend. It promises to be interesting. All games we played simultaneously, 9 p.m. Nigerian time on Wednesday. Just a recap of the big games once again. PSG will take on Newcastle United. Dortmund up against Inter Milan. Napoli will take on Chelsea. Manchester City at Etihad Stadium will take on Galatasaray. Liverpool at Anfield will take on Karabakh. Let's get your predictions ahead of this game in our comment section. What do you think will happen on Wednesday? I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, just like JJ said, just like the last day of the Premier League season, where we want to know who wins the Premier League title.
Truly nerve-wracking.
Yeah, definitely. Who will be relegated? So let's get your reactions on our comment section. Till next time I meet you, my name remains Toby.
And I'm JJ. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe. Thank you.